everyone, welcome back to another episode of Double Overtime. Aidan Michaels and Jack Weisberg here with you as always. Our soccer expert joining us once again, as he did in the previous video, Parker Masana. We're here
Hey
to
guys.
talk about the World Cup quarterfinals. We're going to start with France and Morocco because that's the game going on in about 20 minutes from now. We always like to leave it to the last second. We'll start with France and Morocco. Either way, the city of Paris is going to be burning down after this game. I'll start with this one. Morocco obviously showing they're a dark horse again. We saw that in 2022 in the World Cup when they made it to the semifinal. First African team to make it to a World Cup semifinal. They're looking to do it again here in 2026. The issue is I think France just look unstoppable up top. You got Mbappe and Dembele, two guys that are absolutely unreal. I'm not even sure who's going to win this game. I know this is predictions and we have to pick one. So my heart is telling me France. I think Morocco will absolutely put up a good fight considering what they did against Brazil, who kind of proved to be a little bit worse than we thought, and obviously a decent performance last round as well. I'm going to stick with France, though. I'm going to say they got this one. I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1 for most of the game, and then I think France will add a third goal, make it 3-1 right at the end of the game. Parker.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ride with you with France. I've got them, I think, going all the way. But on the other hand, we got Morocco. They've looked amazing. They really played to whatever level they need. They looked a little slow in that first half against Canada. Um, but then again, their striker got hurt. So it really comes down to is Saibari healthy? Is he going to play? He's their top goal scorer. He's the main man. So it's really just going to come down to that. And if he's healthy, I think him and Hakimi are a great partnership. Him, Brahim too. Morocco has the talent. They can easily compete with France, and France is not they're not perfect, and maybe they can show it. Like they haven't really had too big of a hiccup yet. Maybe conceding against Senegal or Norway without Holland was a hiccup, but realistically, they haven't really been tested. And I think this will be the first real test of the whole tournament for them is this Morocco team.
And real quick, the tensions are rising between the two. I don't know if you saw the video of Brahim Diaz's press conference, but there was, I think it was a Moroccan and a French reporter going at it in the back. I
Yeah.
had to stop the press conference because these guys were fighting. So this is already, a tension-filled matchup, not only for the players, not for the nations, but for the reporters as well, the journalists, everybody involved in this game. Jack, Morocco, France, it's going to be a good one. What do you got?
It is going to be a good one. I like that there's already some tensions going into it, as there should be. But I kind of disagree with you guys, man. I think that Morocco doesn't need the ball. They don't need possession to be able to they can absorb pressure and kind of lead to the counterattack, and that gives them a lot of goals. So I hear Parker's point on their striker being out, but I think Hakimi could hold down the fort if need be. And France, sure they look like the best team in the tournament, uh, but I think Morocco's like the kind of team that can take advantage of little mistakes and win this game 2-1.
Yeah, I think that's something super underrated, especially the center backs of Morocco, Riyadh, and I think they got Issa Diop back there. Two two Prem guys. I think they're really solid in the back. Issa Diop obviously switching his nationality recently to be on this Morocco team. So I think it's a lot of pride in that back line, and Bunu's like also a great goalie. So I think I think Morocco absolutely can put up a fight, but I'm still sticking with France.
It could be. I don't want to say it's a coin flip like I was saying Colombia and Switzerland was going to be, but it certainly could go that direction, either direction, that is. We will head to the next matchup, a matchup between Spain and Belgium. Obviously, Spain handling their way into the quarterfinals, Belgium handling their way into the quarterfinals by beating the United States. I thought Belgium looked okay against the US. I just think the US looked awful. And I'm not sure it was, I'm going to give credit to Belgium, of course. They did play a decent game, but the United States was just god awful. It was horrible. The lights were simply too bright. Belgium with a commanding 4-1 victory. So they look pretty decent going into this game, and I think they've got a chance. But boys, you know what I was saying last game. It's Spain. It's going to be Spain. They haven't conceded a single goal in the tournament. They go and clean sheet Portugal. I think I don't know if you did. You guys both have Portugal? No, just Jack. Jack,
We
remember
both
when
have Portugal.
he flashed the Benjamin on the screen? I asked him for a bet. He didn't want to do it. I said, okay, $20. He goes, no. He didn't do
I
it.
don't recall.
Yeah. So he said I was taking advantage of him when I offered that bet. But anyway, Spain gets the winner. late in the game. They come out and beat Portugal, send Ronaldo packing for his final World Cup match of his career. No World Cups for him, one of the greatest players ever, does not get the trophy. I think there's still nothing that has proved to me that Spain can't win this whole thing. I know you guys are saying, well, they haven't really played many great teams. Now they've just clean sheeted Portugal. I'm giving a lot of credit for them destroying Austria. I know you said they're not an amazing team, but they're a decent team. The group stage is the group stage, fair enough. It's not that hard of a group that they were in, but they've done everything right. They haven't conceded a single goal. I keep saying that. They've moved the ball well. They're looking good up top. Lamine Yamal, he's looking all right. He's not looking, great, but it's the knockout rounds. I mean, that whole game against Portugal, Spain looked great. They looked fantastic. They showed that they can beat these big teams, these good teams with great players and world-class players against them. So I have no reason to not choose Spain over Belgium. Now, Belgium could surprise everybody. They've got a team full of old players, but they can, they show that they're still there. They still got it, but I'm not sure they can beat Spain. So I'm going to say Spain is going to give up a goal. I think Belgium might score, but I'm going to say Spain is going to take this one 2-1. And they're going to leave it late. We might even see extra time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Spain are going to take it, but I think that Portugal match was really tight. I don't know if I'd really give all the credit to them for the defending. I think it's more Portugal ruining their chances in what happened. Also leaving Ronaldo out there, I think baffles me. If you really wanted to win this World Cup, you would have taken him off way before. You definitely would have sent him out for the 90. I get he's the GOAT and all, but come on. If you really wanted to win this one, you would not have left him out there. And really, the ironic part of when they scored is Portugal went to complain about the foul, and they all switched off, and Spain took that free kick quickly and just scored right on him. So I think it's really Portugal's own doing, shows the mentality of the team, how Spain beat them. But also being said, Spain have a lot of quality, and this Belgium team, I mean, they're good. I wouldn't say they're great. We made De Ketelaere look like fucking I don't even know who, like
Prime Ronaldo.
Inzaghi out there. So I mean, he's really not great. We made them look way better than they actually are. But I think this Belgian team's gritty. They're gonna fight. They're not just a pushover team. I don't think Spain can go into it looking over them, but I do think Spain are gonna take them down. I hope Belgium shows something, but I don't think there's enough in that midfield and enough in that defense to really think that they're gonna stop Spain.
Why see?
Yeah, it's a beefy midfield for Spain. I feel like they've had a nearly perfect World Cup so far, besides the draw to Cape Verde in the group stage, but they've looked really good. And then when it comes to Belgium, it seemed like they were just capitalizing on mistakes against the US. So like I think you both touched on, like wasn't that impressive. But Doku legacy game. Let's see what he can do. But Belgium, they can hurt people in transition, as we obviously saw last game. So let's not count them out. But Spain usually doesn't give up those kinds of opportunities. So yeah, give me Spain. We'll go 3-0.
Okay, so Spain keeping the clean sheet streak alive. I believe it's already a World Cup record, right? For longest or at least most number of minutes keeping a clean sheet. I know the goalkeeper has the record, so I assume that's the World Cup record, unless there's some changing of goalkeepers. But either way, Spain are shaping up to make history, and they want to win that trophy. Obviously, they haven't won the World Cup since 2010 when they beat the Netherlands in extra time. They left it very late. We all remember that, maybe. I think we were, how old were we? I mean, we were very, very young, 7 years old, maybe. Um, but anyway, Spain are looking to reclaim the top spot. They are the champions of Europe. They're looking to become the champions of the world, and I think they will find their spot in the World Cup semifinals and all the way, hopefully, to win the entire thing. Other side of the bracket, we're going to go with England and Norway, perhaps one of the most anticipated games of this round of eight. Parker, unfortunately, I'm hosting a thing this weekend with all my friends at the beach, and that game's a 2 p.m. kickoff, and there's going to be a lot of going back and forth. We might need to bring the computer on the beach. You might probably stay at the house for a bit. I'm not sure what your plan is,
I'll
but
probably be at the house.
that's what I assumed. What's your prediction here for this game?
Yeah, so I think Norway going into this match, I think they just came off a perfect match against Brazil. It's really showed that Brazil did not create enough, And I think that's kind of the story with this England team as well. There's not a lot of creative guys in the team. It's really more of a defensive, make the turnover. Harry Kane drops back to make a huge pass. But they beat that Mexico team on strictly mistakes that Mexico made. Mexico doesn't close down the guy. They let the cross. No one back marks back post. Jude Bellingham free header. Turnover. Gilberto Mora in the midfield. Turnover. Harry Kane beautiful pass. Two goals, 2-0, two mistakes. So I think it's really going to come down to can this Norway backline not make mistakes. We saw mistakes against Brazil as well. Brazil did not capitalize on them. Endrick missing a wide open net, basically one on one with the keeper. Cheap penalty call, I think, on that second one for the Neymar one, and then Nealon made an amazing save on that wide open goal that should have probably gone in, but he tipped it off the post. Um, I think it's gonna come down to can Norway keep a clean game, no mistakes, get it to Holland, get it to their main guy. Obviously, these guys on England have played Holland twice a year at least, so I think it's gonna come down to can Holland really punish and can England really not make many mistakes. Also, Norway has to keep it clean. So my prediction is England. I think it's gonna be 2-0, 2-1. Great defensive game, maybe even a 1-0 out of England. I don't think this game will be pretty. I think it'll be very defensive, gritty. England will probably control possession most of the game, and Norway really has to make them pay on the counter, string some passes with Odegaard, Holland, and Berg and Sorloth. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going England.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on this one because I'm gonna really sound like a hater when I keep bringing up how I talk about England, but I still have not been terribly impressed by them. Like you said, a lot of mistakes by Mexico leading to England capitalizing on them. And I'll give them credit. I mean, you go to the Azteca, you're the first European team to ever win a competitive match there. You're only the third team to ever win a competitive match there since 1966 when they opened the Azteca. So I'm going to give credit to England. They went into the fortress, and I thought Mexico was going to win that game. And obviously, a red card from Jarrell Quanza really helped Mexico's chances, and they nearly tied it up at the end. But um, I'm impressed with England handling themselves at the Azteca in Mexico City against Mexico at the World Cup. But I'm still not terribly impressed with how they've done in this entire World Cup. Uh, Norway is an interesting team because obviously they're not a big name. No one thought they were going to probably be in the quarterfinal. Not a lot of people thought they were going to get by Brazil. Um, but what did we talk about in the last video? What needs to happen for Norway to get going? Erling Haaland. What does he do? He scores a brace and they clean sheet. Or no, they didn't clean sheet because of the last minute penalty by Neymar.
Oh, the
But
script. Yeah, the script.
yeah, exactly. But anyway, I think Holland got going and he did his thing. Like you said, these guys have played against Holland like twice a year, maybe even more in the cups and all that. So they know how good he is, and just because they've played against him, it doesn't mean you know how to handle him. I mean, look at Gabriel, played against him what 3 times last season,
Maybe
and
even four, but yeah.
Holland, yeah, four. Holland still jumped on him and scored that header over him. If Holland can keep doing what he's doing, which I assume now he will, then I think Norway have a very good chance at winning this game. Um, the thing is, England, they get going when it comes down to it. They might not impress in the group stage, and they might have a pretty shaky game in the round of 16, but I think when it gets to big games like the quarterfinals or the semifinals, they'll really turn it up. So it's going to be a good game. I think we might see extra time. I think if we go to extra time, I will take England. If we go to penalties, I think I have England as well. Um, but I am going to go against the grain here, and I'm going to take Erling Haaland and Norway, and I think they're going to win this game, and they're going to head to the World Cup semifinal and continue this dream run. And Holland, this could be. We know he's one of the best strikers in the world. He's one of the best players in the world. This is a tournament that can cement his legacy as one of the best, perhaps of all time. He's on his way at least to that. So I'm going to take Norway in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. Somebody that is also going to be picking Norway in this matchup. Both teams coming off of exhausting games. More so for England. I mean, I feel like there might be some fatigue coming into this match. They really had to go all out to the very end. I guess Norway did too, but the Holland's second goal really put it away. But yeah, I just think that this is gonna be England's toughest match, probably. Even they just had the toughest match, probably that we've seen. But I think that a lot of the times in these World Cup games, you come out of a game like that and you can't quite reach that level again. So I see Norway winning 1-0, another Holland goal, Odegaard assist. You know how it goes. And yeah, we're taking Norway.
All right. I like it. I will say I heard it wasn't a point of major concern, but there was news that came out of the Norway camp that said some players were falling ill. They didn't mention who, of course. But again, they said it wasn't a point of major concern. They'll probably be ready by the game on Saturday, which is it's nice that they're not playing today. Um, but just to keep an eye out on that, obviously, if they're missing a couple of players because of sickness, that can really come back to hurt them, especially in a game against England. So we will see. Parker, obviously wearing the England jersey, is taking the Three Lions, and Jack and I are rowing with Norway, and we're going to see what happens with that. We're going to head to our final game of the quarterfinals. Argentina and Switzerland. Now, before we get into this matchup, we want to perhaps talk about what happened in Argentina's last game against Egypt. Very controversial. Egypt thought they had taken a 2-0 lead, but then it was ruled out by VAR from a foul that happened all the way across the field that led directly to an Egypt counterattack and an Egypt second goal. It was disallowed. Egypt then, a couple minutes later, same guy scores a goal, makes it 2-0. The rest is history. Argentina with three late goals to win the game. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. Parker, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on that foul, that goal that was overturned?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a close one. I think it's the right call. I think change of possession, no matter where it happens. If the next action, like the next possession, is a goal, you have to check if it's a foul, especially on that scenario where the defender or it was Lisandro Martinez on the ball, I'm pretty sure. He got stepped on, went down, and the ref said no, he's faking it or whatever. He didn't want to call it. But VAR turned it over. Obviously, I think that's what VR is there for. If there's a change of possession and it's a foul, you have to say it. Like, fortunately, a goal did come from it, but I think if Argentina had the ball, if there was a little change of possession before that goal, then yeah, I think it stands. But I think the main thing was that it was change of possession goal, So I think it was the right call. Also, I think Argentina didn't create nearly enough in that first half. They had the penalty, which Messi had it saved, but I don't think they were nearly creative enough. It didn't take until like the 70th minute when they were down 2 nil, and it's like now we're gonna go for it. But I think you have to go for it from the jump. But there does have to be some serious questions asked about these defenders and what's going on there. Because they've conceded two against Cape Verde, they've now conceded two against Egypt. So if you concede two against Switzerland, I don't know if you're going to score two. The Switzerland team is a very defensive team, so yeah, I think right calls in the Argentina match, but I think Argentina need to be better defensively.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thought. Obviously it's a shame that it happened because Egypt, though, it was a wonderfully worked goal. It really was. But like you said, P, like it doesn't matter where it is on the field, as long as there's a change of possession and Argentina never had the ball after that, of course they're going to disallow that. So it's absolutely the right call. And the issue is it's Argentina. If this was Australia versus Egypt, perhaps no one would be saying much. But the fact that it's Messi and a lot of people think that it's rigged for Messi and that they just want him to win and they just want the superstars to keep going, which I don't believe in any of that nonsense. But of course, FIFA's corrupt and there's always going to be that narrative for the people that hate Messi and Argentina. But it's like you got to call it how it is. Everyone wants to see a good upset, right? But you have to call it how it is, and that was absolutely the right call. Uh, and obviously Argentina capitalizing on it. The issue is, I know Egypt fans are arguing they should have had three. It should be 3-0 rather than 2-0. Obviously, that becomes a lot bigger of a task for Argentina. But it's like, okay, you have a two-goal lead with 10 minutes to play, and you let up three goals. You can't blame that on the ref. You can't. That's a collapse from you guys. I know the Egypt coach and the fan or the players were screaming at the ref, and the Egypt coach he claimed that the ref was being racist toward him for making that call, and I'm going to be honest, like I'm not going to undermine his feelings about whether or not he felt like he was being racially abused. Of course, that's a whole other issue if that's what was happening, but the fact that he was saying it because of that foul call is unreal. I mean, it is absolutely the right call, and the referee made the perfect decision and handled it very well. And he booked the Egypt coach because he was out of his technical area and he was basically on the field. It's a shame that Egypt was handling like that. I know they're upset. You can get mad at what the ref does. Referees make mistakes every game, like players do, but the referee did not make a mistake there. VAR at least did not make a mistake. He made the right call. They made the right call. Um, and again, you cannot blame the referee or VAR for letting up 3 goals with 10 minutes to play. That is on you. They sat back. They were flustered by that call, and they let it slip. And that's what happens. And Messi and the world champion Argentina, they're going to do that to you. It's not like they did this against Australia, like I was saying. It's against Argentina. They are the world champions for a reason. Same with Cape Verde. Like you said, they let up two, but of course they're going to win that game. They're going to come back and realize, hey, we're the best team in the world. Let's keep going. So anyway, that's my thought about it. As far as the Egypt game goes, I think it's a shame that Egypt were handling it the way they did, and it's a shame that they choked that lead. But that's what happens. Jack, I don't know how you feel about what happened in that game, but I assume you have perhaps some similar thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you said. I think there's a lack of accountability on Egypt's part. And then to the VAR conversation, I also think it was the right call. So here we are. Argentina's moved on. We're playing Switzerland, who defended extremely well and have defended really well throughout the tournament. But they didn't really create much, and that concerns me against a team in Argentina who just came off a game where for 80 minutes of it, they didn't really create much either. And then they came out of a rocket ship and decided to score three straight. So I think that that momentum for Argentina is almost a given that it's going to continue. Um, and Switzerland, on the other hand, I just think this is a really tough matchup for them to compete with. So I have Argentina 2-0, but I'd, I'd love for them to prove me wrong.
And let me ask you, Jack. I'm curious because I mean, obviously Cape Verde showed that they can play against big teams, but on paper, in my opinion at least, Switzerland are a stronger team than Cape Verde and a stronger team than Egypt. And then of course, Egypt and Cape Verde are both given Argentina some problems. Do you think that Argentina get this clean sheet because perhaps they've learned from their mistakes or the fact that they know it's a higher, it's a bigger game, it's a quarterfinal? Or do you think Switzerland might actually surprise Argentina a little bit? Maybe not with goals, but perhaps with at least making it a little difficult for Argentina.
I think Argentina just got shook in this last game, and they really relied on Messi to bail them out. And I think that they came in the locker room after that game and was like, this cannot happen again because I mean, this dude's old. He's not going to do this every game and carry us back. Like it's just not possible. You could be the greatest of all time and not be able to do that. So um, they're going to need someone else to step up. I don't know who that guy is. Maybe it's Alvarez. I have no clue. But they need somebody who's going to give them the spark, other than Messi. And yeah, do I think Switzerland can give them problems like Cape Verde? And yeah, I do. But they gotta come out with some fire here. They
Yeah.
really do. I mean, you don't win a game like that. We see teams win games like that and go on to, win championships. And that's what I think Argentina's on their way to do.
P, you weren't really riding high on Switzerland against Colombia, obviously, and they perhaps played the worst game of the two teams. I assume you have Argentina beating Switzerland. Why?
Yeah, I do. And I really don't think Switzerland should even be advancing. I think they had a half chance at most against Colombia. Um, really hung on. I mean, Colombia looked like they subbed on some guys who just should not have been at that stage. They should have probably made some different decisions. Campaz had a one-on-one with the keeper, nobody around, couldn't even hit the target. I think that speaks volumes to how the Switzerland team advances. Yeah, I think Colombia created way more. They deserved that game way more. They went for it way more than Switzerland. And I think that's what happens in these matches. Whichever team actually goes for it instead of defends, gets it done, and that's what we've seen this whole tournament. I think Switzerland and Egypt were the only two teams this whole tournament that I watched, and I said they do not deserve to advance. And here they are. Egypt just crashed out after they finally had some good chances in a match. We'll see what Switzerland do. I really hope they do. It kind of scares me now that they didn't create that many chances because Monzambi was out. Maybe he's the real creative point in that team. So it'll be kind of dependent if he plays or not if they create chances. So if Monzambi plays, I think they have a way better chance because this Argentina backline, like I said, has not looked perfect in any way. Honestly, below average, if we're being honest. So realistically, Monzambi doesn't play. Argentina should have no problem. Monzambi's in. I think it changes the whole complex of the team, and Switzerland could really have a chance of getting it done, especially if they really go for it.
All right, well, to avoid being redundant, I'll keep mine very quick because obviously I agree with you boys. Argentina, I think, we'll beat Switzerland. I said it in the last video with Colombia and Switzerland. I know you guys had Colombia much higher on your list than I did, but I thought they were two teams that weren't particularly game breakers. And obviously, it kind of showed with a nil-nil draw and then going to penalties, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't riding high on Colombia or Switzerland, so I think Argentina won't have an issue. Obviously, it's a little scary knowing how they let up some goals to Cape Verde, went to extra time, left it to the very end against Egypt. But it's Messi. He's the greatest player of all time. It's Argentina. They are the world champions, and they're looking to go back to back, and they will make it to the semifinal, I believe, against Switzerland. All right, so that concludes our predictions for the quarterfinals. And last video, we all picked a team that we thought was going to win the entire thing, so we'll do the same. I'm sticking with Spain. Parker, you had Argentina. Would you like to switch, or do you still feel that Argentina are going to repeat?
No, I'm still sitting on Argentina or France. I think you go through those games and you advance, and it's one of those legendary runs to the World Cup that we're going to see. I really think it's going to be Argentina France. I've said it since the group stage. But all my pre-tournament teams didn't even make the quarterfinals. So what do I know?
I mean, you're doing well so far with Argentina. Again, I'm keeping Spain. Jack, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to change yours because you did pick Brazil and they did lose to Norway. So now you've got another option to redeem yourself and pick a new winner.
Yeah, no, I mean Parker had how many teams? 8 teams. I had two. My teams were Brazil and France. But I'm gonna add a team here, and it's gonna be Argentina.
Okay.
And I feel like I alluded to that in my piece about them. I just think that now they're battle tested and that I mean they've shown that they can survive in any kind of game. So big ups to them.
All right. Argentina for Parker, Argentina for Jack, Spain for myself. Perhaps we will see them match up in the final. But time will tell. Either we will see you guys in the semifinal video. We're definitely going to do a video for the final. But either way, that's going to conclude our quarterfinal predictions. Hopefully, we can do a little bit better. I think we did pretty well, all in all. Obviously, I think we missed Norway. Obviously, Portugal. We did okay. We all picked the U.S. We could definitely do better. Let's hope that we can get a clean sweep or at least maybe just miss one, perhaps two. But we will see what happens. See you guys in the semifinal. For Parker Masana, Jack Weisberg, I'm Aidan Michaels. See you next week. I'm keeping that in, by the way.